Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking on one of the adaptive bots who I forgot to cover previously, Devon. Devon loves to play aggressively, but if he gets the upper hand, he'll go easy on you. So guys, against these adaptive bots, if you play super theoretical in the opening, they're going to come after you like hard. So maybe we play something like non-theoretical, but also that is pretty scary. Should we play like the grob? Oh, no, birds, sorry. So I think with this... when you're not sure what to do, guys, just develop. That's what we're going to learn. So we're playing non-theoretical because hopefully Devon will adapt and then go easy on us. That's my thinking. So we'll reinforce this pawn. We probably should have... we could maybe just take towards the center, though. Or put our knight on this nice square. I don't see why not. Yeah, this just looks nice for us, actually. We can just lock our knight in. Okay, so they trade, but then we get a big pawn mass in the center. Can't really break here. What if here, just reinforcing the pawns, and then look to break here? So yeah, let's go for it. I think, is our king? Our king's just about all right. There's this check, but I think we can block it, guys. Now we've got to watch out for this square, because our opponent is going to match us and put his knight, ram it right in here. So we don't want that. Okay, so now he's going to try and trade off our knight. But if takes, then we get a fork. So he's got to take with the bishop here to prevent us forking his pieces. So we want to get a bit closer to castling, but also I like just taking towards the center. Ooh, that is a bit ugly. Him hitting our rook. So I think we definitely take this. Just got to be super aware though. This diagonal is weak. It's good to play some different openings sometimes, guys, and just reset your like chess baseline. So if he wants to take, like I say, he's got to take with the bishop. He takes with the knight, he gets forked with the pawn on these two pieces. So how do we get closer to castling? We could move out, pressure here, pressure here. There is this though now. Is that a problem? It's actually not threatening anything for the right now. If here, you know, maybe here or here, but these squares are both covered. So we could go for an opposite side castling. I was planning on castling this side, queen side. I'm a bit worried about this dark square bishop. It's staring into our own pawn wall. Not very pretty. So what if we do this and this, trying to trade it off? But I think first we just castle. And now Devon. That's fair enough if he's just doing that to develop a rook with check. You know, getting your rook to the open file. And I think this move is good. But there is a lot of times, guys, where there's a check available, right? And I don't do it. I wait for a tactic to emerge around that check and try and get a double attack. And this was sort of triggered that thought, like, could he have waited for a better chance to check? Because now my king's safe. But for the record, I think this is a fine move, putting the rook on the open file. So now I was thinking that, trying to trade off the bishop. Just thinking, is there any trickery there? I don't think so. What happened? I think I'd gone back in time. So now if this, we take... this is okay. I am a bit worried that our rooks are disconnected, so we really want to play this. Maybe look to undermine this structure here with the bishop, or just take. But if we take, he takes back this way and corrects the pawn structure. Maybe plays that and creates a connect 4 pawns. So, oh, what I realized, guys, before this video, like, you can see behind me into that like dark corridor, and I can't see. So if like a ghost comes, let me know in the comments, because I'm not gonna have a clue. Get a bit scared now. Right. So this, I was thinking, this is a bit scary, but I don't think anything's happening yet. But right now, there's this theme. Sorry. If you do a lot of puzzles, guys, you know what, I get this asked in the comments a lot. People struggling with their chess. First thing I say, if you're struggling, go away, maybe have a day's break. But also, try doing some puzzles or play a different time format, or even play some like 4-player chess, or just try and break up the monotony of normal chess. Not that it's monotonous. We love it, but so yeah. So there's this theme now where you go check, king has to move, and then you go check. So and then rook takes and rook takes with mate. But it's that theme of pushing the king back and then going in for the kill, if you know what I mean. So pushing the king back, putting queen on the 2nd or 7th rank, and then going in. So it's just something to be aware of. So now we really want to connect the rooks to make this attack far less potent. Okay, so that's just a trade. Now, my instinct is to take this way to keep all the pawns together. If it takes this way, we separate out these pawns. But if it takes this way, this pawn push could look to undermine this pawn. I think we've got this square sufficiently defended, so I'm happy taking this way. Oh no. How long's that been sat there? They could have done that before. Yeah, they've just forked our rooks, guys. Oh, well, we're being quite educational there as well, weren't we? Yeah. So what if I do this? Throw in an in-between move? Wait, so yeah, but if here, I go here. Takes. So actually it's not a true fork, although the bishop is there. So it's a fork of the... It's a fork of the rook and bishop, not the rooks. So what if I throw this move in? Can they go here? But then we take. So I'm going to throw this move in and see what they do. Oh, that's brutal. That's such a good move. That's such a good move. Yeah, that was stupid of me. Yeah. They just interpose. Yeah, so bad. Right, don't do that, guys. So, how do we come back from this losing position? Here, to stop this, and deal with this. Deal with both threats at once. So there was just too many threats there with this knight. And look, I'm actually just going to take it out. It's too strong. Take this way normally. Wow. Okay, so that separates out the pawn structure. And also... This weak backwards pawn has now got a little layer of protection with their pawn. I'd be much more angry if this pawn was, say, here, and it was backwards and the rook was looking at the backwards pawn. But since this is like a nice triangle we've got for the rook to stare into, I'm actually happy with that. So yeah, we've misplayed this, but I think we can get somewhere in this game. This is an adaptive bot, so we've fulfilled our goals and not played super theoretical, so hopefully he's going to go a little bit easy on us now. And we're going to play the system a little bit. So there's a bit of pressure here, but we just take. I think it's fine. Pressure here. We push here. Look to get that moving. Want to crack things open. Wow. So now this looks good. Stopping this and also threatening, putting some pressure on this pawn. Also, just locking in the pawn and threatening to mate on this square. But seeing as he's got more pieces, I think we want to open up the board and get a bit more dynamic than that. Because if we're just threatening like a simple idea of a checkmate on this square, we're not going to be able to force it because we don't have the material. We're going to need to force some tactics. So that makes me want to open things up. Okay, so there's this, which opens the queen up, which we don't like. Maybe queen could pop out somehow. It's currently covered, but at least we got both rooks, which we didn't in those other lines. So if this, they can't kick us out, and we can prepare to double the rooks, maybe. So what about like that? Take. They might sack, but I think I'd be happy with that. Could also just pin the knight looks pretty nice. Pin the knight to the queen. So the queen gets out of it. But now, maybe we go like... I want to create another threat with the queen and then I can get both rooks lined up. And then this is a threat. So if queen here, this is a threat because the pawn would be pinned to the king. So I want to set up that. I think I'd rather have the rook there rather than the queen. I want to get the queen out this way, maybe. If here is pressure on this. Also pressure on this. Pressure on this. Let's try that. Is it a bit slow? Can they just move the knight now? I think it might be a bit slow. I think we've got to go for this. So this no longer working. But now that. Looks pretty solid. Threatening all sorts. So we can triple up on this file now. Threatening to just take the pawn. So if takes, not quite working. But now if this takes, yeah, they'd have to take with a rook. What if we put more pressure on this? What about, so if they take with a pawn, they get this, which is, it looks very bad for them. So I think they take with a rook. And then maybe we get like that. You know what? I think we just got to start pushing these pawns. These pawns are going to start getting very scary for our opponent here. Because now this. Maybe that to try and trade, but that doesn't work. So then we take the pawn. We're getting a bit of a scary attack coming, guys. What? What? No liquid. Liquid. Say really weird words when I'm like trying to calculate, just strange words come out of me. So if this, we just win the rook, right? But now this is working. But then don't we just want to win the rook rather than trade the rook? So this, we get check, but then they go here. But then we get... What do we get? Nothing. I think we just take the rook, right? I'm a bit worried about checkmate threats over here, but... so we just take? Don't see it. Okay, so now their king's sort of in a dodgy spot. So if here that's not working, what about if we just push? I'd also love to win this pawn, but we can't quite do it. Here. It's pretty drawish, isn't it? How do we do something, guys? How do we get like dynamic here? Does the check do anything? They probably just scurry away. I feel like the pawn push is good because it's good to advance your pawns. Also, maybe just getting a king over. But then there's loads of checks and it gets a bit scary. If takes. I don't see how we've got any advantage there. Maybe we just throw in the check and see what they do. Maybe like here. Or here. Takes. We sort of get the pawns a bit more connected, but not really. If this, they take. Yeah. I was thinking this, because this is pinned, and to deflect the king away, then take the queen. But no, they just take our queen. So if this... a bit worried about this square. I think we've got to go for this endgame. See what we can do. So they're taking the open file. We've got this extra pawn in the center, but he's just going to come and win it, so... And this is the pawn I'm worried about. If we trade the rooks here, I think this is losing. So if we get that, they just come and like win this pawn and then push this pawn. I don't think we could trade the rooks. I think we go for some rook activity. Try and win this pawn. So we can go check, takes, win this pawn, threaten this, or take the base of this structure. Can also just throw in an in-between move. Because we're still, even if they play something like this, we're still going to have this threat. Do we just go for it? Let's just go for it. They don't even take it. Wow. So they want to hold on to this pawn. That's quite instructive, guys. The bot loves this outside passed pawn. So we take this now. Now this. Or just going after this pawn. I think this going after this, but then they go here to defend. If this takes, we separate out our pawns, which I don't like. Maybe we push this. Let's see what they do. See if we can grab this. Oh, he lets us grab it. We love that. 2 connected passed pawns. We not better now? I think we're better now, guys. So check, and then we can push. So check. Here we push. Or actually, we bring the king is probably better. Because if we push, our king is now trapped. So I think we bring the king. Okay, that's annoying. We've got to go back, defend this pawn. And now we can push, right? We're creating a wall with these 3 pieces now. So we've got check, but then here. But they can't actually put any more pressure on this pawn, because like I say, we've got a wall. So maybe we start pushing this one. So they're just going to start pushing this, I guess. So now check. No. But then the king comes in, doesn't it? But then we go there. And we've got to push this pawn so there's no more pressure here. And now we hit the rook. But then there. Then there. Then there. Then here. Defending the pawn. Okay. So now we can get this check in successfully, because if this, we go here. And we're defending this pawn here, guys. So now can't we just push? Let's try it. Can always get back to defend this pawn, which I love. So if they take, it's a threat because they win both pawns at the end. So we take. And now... So if here, again, we've got the same situation. We need to get one up. But now the rook can come in with check, which is annoying. So now... But now check. If in, we can't go here. So maybe we go here and win this pawn. And then we're definitely winning after that, if we win it. Wow, okay. What's the bot doing? Just giving us that pawn. So now we can go here, cutting the king off and going after this pawn. So if here, check. Check, they can't go here, so I think we just push. So if here... This is where we want to build the bridge. We want to get the rook back. So checks from behind, we can... So let's say the rook was here. We can build the bridge by going like this. So if the rook ever checks, we can interpose and stop the checks. Especially against bots, because they're just going to be annoying and keep checking us forever. So we could go here, and if here, take. And I think that's winning. I think a lot of lines are winning. I'm just making sure, guys. So here, not working. Here, there's just going to be checks. So I think we go for this. Win this pawn. Now we've got 2 passed pawns. And also, our king is in front of the pawns, which we love. So if here, this is what's called as, well, I'm just terming this now, but it's like the golden square. If you get your king there, and then the pawn is gonna promote. It's like the red carpet for the pawn. Maybe can we give a check? We can't. They take the pawn. So I think we go here. And like that. Yeah, that's just a nuisance move. So now we're pushing. Now here. They have to come and somehow stop this pawn. But now if here we're threatening to promote. We're not messing this up, are we? So if here, they can just take. We don't like that. If here, they have to take it, otherwise we're going to promote, or go here. No, they have to take it because it's check. And then we get that. They go here. We go there. And we promote. Right? Here. Here. Oh, wait. I think we have to somehow shoulder the king away from this pawn. I was thinking if we go here, but I think that's losing, or drawing, because then this, but then check here, promote. So maybe this is fine. Maybe I'm stressing out too much. This is the sort of thing, if it was under time pressure, I'd just play the moves and it'd be fine. But so here, check. We have to go here, and then we just promote. That's fine. Okay. Or can they throw in a check? No. Yeah. That endgame was horrible. At the end there, I was just hoping it'd be fine, to be honest. I didn't want to make this video too long. How long is that? Can't actually see just yet. Wow, that's a brutal way to lose. Because normally, for you to get mated, the kings have to be in opposition. But in this case, the escape square was blocked by the beautiful queen. Devon. I think that was instructive, even though we messed that one up. So I'm going to just re-record it now real quick and beat Devon. And not mess around with the openings. And yeah. Alright, see you next time, guys. Subscribe if you enjoyed that. And yeah, cheers.